Life doesn't always feel like it's in control. Some seasons feel like storm after storm, where every part of you is stretched thin, the calendar's full, the mind's racing, the heart's heavy. And peace? It feels like a distant concept, like something for other people in quieter seasons, easier lives. You keep saying, it'll calm down soon, but it doesn't. And deep inside, a quiet question grows louder. Where is God in all this? Not just in the big storms, but in the daily swirl of unanswered emails, aching news headlines, tight deadlines, lonely nights. Chaos isn't always loud. Sometimes it's just never ending. And when you try to slow down, something inside resists. Guilt creeps in. Fear takes over. If I stop pushing, everything will fall apart. If I rest, I'll lose control. The truth? You were never in control to begin with. That weight you're carrying, it was never yours to hold. God is not surprised by the whirlwind around you. He's not overwhelmed by your to-do list or your pain. He's not behind. He's not distracted. He's right here, unmoved, unshaken, always working. For everything there is a season, and a time for every matter under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3:1. His timing may not look like yours, but it's perfect, not rushed, not delayed, perfect. And in that perfection, there is peace. Not because the chaos ends, but because you begin to believe that even in the chaos, He is in control. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3. That peace doesn't come from everything making sense. It comes from trusting the one who sees what you don't, who knows what you can't. So this is your invitation, not to fix everything, but to slow down and listen, to believe, even just for a moment, that the chaos isn't evidence of God's absence, but the very space where His presence can be most real. Let this moment interrupt the noise. Let it call you back, because peace is still possible, even here, even now. Waiting is one of the hardest things faith ever asks of us, especially when life feels out of sync, when doors stay shut, prayers stay unanswered, and the things you hoped would change haven't. You don't mind trusting God for a while, but what about when a while becomes a long time? You start asking questions you didn't used to say out loud. God, did you forget? Did I miss something? Is this silence a no, or just more waiting? And when people say, just trust His timing, it feels like a cliche, not comfort, because waiting hurts, especially when it feels like you're waiting alone. You try to hold on, you read verses, you repeat promises. But some days, your faith feels like it's running on fumes, not because you've stopped believing, but because you're tired. Tired of holding hope that feels like it keeps slipping through your fingers. And yet, even in that weariness, there's something stubborn inside you, something deeper than your frustration, a voice that won't fully give up, a whisper that says, God is still good, God is still working, God is still God. That whisper might be quiet, but it's real. Wait for the Lord. Be strong and take heart and wait for the Lord. Psalm 27:14. Notice it doesn't say, be strong while you fix it. It says, be strong while you wait. There is a sacred strength in waiting, a strength that doesn't come from activity, but from anchored trust. God is not ignoring you. Delay is not denial. In fact, what feels like pause may be protection. What feels like silence may be set up. He's not slow. He's intentional. And His timeline has never been wrong. Not once, not ever. Let yourself feel what you feel. Frustration, sadness, confusion. He can handle it. But don't let those emotions become your truth. Let His character be your compass. Let His track record be your reminder. You've waited longer than you thought you could. You've prayed longer than you expected. But here you are, still standing. That's not failure. That's faith. And God sees it. Every day, every tear, every ounce of trust. God's promises are not placeholders to keep us busy while He delays. They are anchors, meant to hold you steady when nothing else does. Not empty words, not motivational slogans, eternal truth, spoken by the one who never breaks His word. He has made everything beautiful in its time. Ecclesiastes 3:11. That verse isn't just poetic, it's prophetic. There is beauty coming, not forced, not rushed, but timed. And the timing is His, not yours. And that's a good thing, because He sees the whole picture. We often ask for peace as a feeling. God offers peace as a promise. A kind that doesn't depend on circumstances, but on confidence in His character. The Lord is not a man that He should lie. Numbers 23:19. If He said He'll work it out, He will. You might not see it yet. The waiting room still feels long. The prayer still feels unanswered. But underneath all of that, God is building something deeper. Trust. Trust that believes before it sees. Trust that rests even when it doesn't understand. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3:5. That's not just advice, it's strategy. Because your understanding has limits, His doesn't. And peace comes when you finally say, God, I don't get it, but I give it to you anyway. His timing is not random. It's perfectly woven into the fabric of your purpose. And just because you don't feel progress doesn't mean there isn't movement. Seeds grow in silence. Mountains move without making noise. So hold on to what He said, not what you feel, not what others say, but what He said. Because He is still the God who parts seas, calms storms, multiplies loaves, and makes a way where there is no way. He has not forgotten you. He has not missed your prayer, and He has not changed His mind about the plans He has for you. There comes a point when you realize peace isn't found in knowing all the answers. It's found in knowing who holds them. The need to figure it all out, to see the full picture, to predict every outcome. It gets heavy. And finally, you whisper, God, I can't carry this anymore. And He says, good. You don't have to. My thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. Isaiah 55:8. At first that feels distant, but then it becomes comforting. Because if He's not like us, that means He's not limited like us. His timing isn't late, it's layered with purpose. You've been doing all the right things, praying, waiting, believing. But peace doesn't always come through doing. It comes through releasing, letting go of the need to feel in control, letting God take His place not just as Savior, but as Lord. Stillness is not weakness, it's worship. It's your spirit saying, even if I don't understand, I choose to trust. It's not passive, it's powerful. It doesn't mean giving up, it means giving in to the hands that have never dropped you. The Lord gives strength to His people. The Lord blesses His people with peace. Psalm 29:11. You don't need to earn that peace. You don't need to fight for it. You just need to receive it. And sometimes the greatest act of faith is to stop moving and simply rest. Let go of the timelines you built, the expectations you clung to, the pressure you placed on yourself. None of that was required. All that was asked was trust. Faith not in a plan, but in a person who sees the end from the beginning. Peace isn't the reward for endurance. It's the companion of surrender. And it's available now, not later, not when everything works out, but right now in the chaos. Not in the absence of noise, but in the presence of God. So take another breath. Not out of routine, but out of freedom. You're allowed to stop striving. You're allowed to rest, because He's working. And he's not done yet. This is the invitation. Not to understand everything, but to trust anyway. Not to wait for peace to magically appear, but to walk into it with your hand in his. Peace isn't a destination you reach when life settles down. It's the person you walk with through the storm. Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord God is an everlasting rock. Isaiah 26:4. A rock doesn't move when the wind hits. It doesn't shake when waves crash. It stays, and that's who God is. Steady, unshaken, always sure. He doesn't panic when plans fall apart. He doesn't flinch when you don't know what's next. He knows what you're walking through, the frustration, the confusion, the waiting, the feeling of being stuck in between. He knows the prayers you've stopped praying because hope started to feel dangerous. And he's not disappointed in you. He's drawing closer. You're not failing for being uncertain. You're not behind for having questions. Trust isn't about never doubting. It's about choosing God again in the middle of your doubts. It's saying, even here, even now, I choose to believe you're still good. Let him have your questions. Let him carry your future. You've held it long enough. You've overthought it, analyzed it, stressed about it. But God says, you weren't made to carry this. I was. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust in him and he will act. Psalm 37:5. You don't have to chase peace. Just commit your way, your unknowns, your confusion, your timing, and let him act. He knows when, he knows how. And if your heart is whispering, but what if it never works out? Hear this. God's never doesn't look like ours. What feels like an ending to us may just be the beginning to him. You are not stuck. You are being positioned. So say yes, not to understanding, not to control, but to trust. Say yes to resting while he moves. Say yes to letting go, so that you can finally be free. You don't have to wait for the chaos to end before you find peace. You just have to shift where you're looking. Stop watching the storm. Start looking at the one who walks on waves. The one who sleeps in the boat during storms. Not because he's unaware, but because he's in control. Peace was never about perfect circumstances. It was about perfect trust. And trust doesn't mean you'll always feel calm. It means you're anchored, even when the waves hit. It means your soul has a place to rest, even when the world doesn't. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast, because they trust in you. Isaiah 26:3. Let your mind go there, steadfast, not glued to timelines, not fixated on outcomes, but locked in on him, the God who's never late, never early, always right on time. He hasn't forgotten your prayers, he hasn't overlooked your pain, and he hasn't paused your story. The chaos around you doesn't mean he's not working. It means he's working through it, quietly, faithfully, perfectly. So take this peace with you. Let it travel into your Monday. Let it follow you through waiting rooms, inboxes, unanswered calls, and uncertain news. Because peace is no longer something you're searching for. It's someone you know. God's timing is not just right, it's kind. And every moment you think nothing's happening, something actually is. Seeds are breaking under the soil. Doors are being prepared. Paths are being cleared. So breathe slower, walk softer, trust deeper. He's not done yet. He's just not in a rush.